Welcome to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is 𝗧𝗠thia 𝙪𝙧, joined today by Kristina Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. To our viewers at home, I want to let you know we're talking about something very important today, milestones in retirement. You're not going to want to miss today's episode. This is all about milestones in retirement. Kristina, how are you today?
Fantastic. Great to be here with you always, my friend.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. I'm so excited when we're together. I always look forward to it. And Rob, how are you?
I'm blessed as always.
Me too. Very blessed indeed. And today's show is very interesting, and it's a little bit fun as well. We're going to be talking about the milestones in retirement, but a lot of times when you think of age, like people think of aching backs, gray hairs, slowing down, right? So we're not going to go there. We're not talking about that. But milestones in retirement. Kristina, let's talk about age 50.
So before we jump into the milestones, we're going to go over 10 of those, 𝗧𝗠thia.
Ooh.
There are 10.
Okay.
And I was thinking about my little grandson and all these different milestones that he's going to hit. Obviously, you know, infancy, toddler years, kindergarten, middle school, graduating high school. There are more milestones in retirement than there are for children.
Oh,
this
my
is huge.
gosh, that's amazing.
Age 50, going backward just a little bit. Folks, if you are age 50-ish, so a little before, a little after, right this moment, it's a great time to be thinking about saving. And you know, when you're 50 years and older, you do have opportunities for catch-up contributions inside of your retirement plans. This is a big deal. So we need to be talking to an advisor about this, because if you miss those catch-up contributions, chances are you may not have enough.
Wow, that's a very important thing to talk about. Also, what happens with someone who's going to retire before 59 and a half, retiring early?
I guess that's the rule of 55, right? So if you lose your job, or if you're no longer employed, then there are possible options for you to be able to pull that out without the penalties. But for the most part, when we're 59 and a half is when we would start pulling our retirement out, or able to, without penalties.
Okay.
There are a lot of retirement programs that are for age 55. A really good example is going to be hazardous duty. Of course, our police officers, firefighters, a lot of military, they have to retire at 55 because they just simply can't perform their duties anymore once you start to age. You're just not physically able. And so there are a couple of little rules in there to make sure that we can get a hold of some money. But 59 and a half and that 10% penalty, that can also apply to people who are recipients of IRAs. So we want to make sure that we're watching for that one.
Okay, so there would be a way to retire early and have access to your money?
Yes.
That's perfect.
That's what it's about.
I love that. And what about, most of us stop calculating, obviously, our birthdays when we're children, but it is a big deal when you do turn 59 and a half, Rob. What happens at 59 and a half?
Well, I mean, you're allowed to be able to pull this money out, your qualified money out, tax or penalty free, right? So you still have to pay taxes on qualified money. But it kind of starts people thinking about when they should retire and what they can start pulling out.
Well, that 10% penalty, nobody wants to pay penalties. Let's not do that. Let's not pay any penalties.
10% is a lot of money.
Well, and at the same time, I see a lot of people at 59 and a half, we have another opportunity. Folks, this is called an in-service rollover to an outside IRA. So perhaps you have a group plan like a 401k, and maybe you don't have very much control. There might be like a target date fund or something silly, not many safe options. And a lot of times you're left to do it alone. You call just 1-800-I-don't-care-about-you, and they don't answer your questions. This is a big deal. So at 59 and a half, there's an opportunity to roll that money over into your own IRA, and you have control. Check with your HR, check with your custodian, and see if that is possible to have an in-service rollover. So that is available.
I love that, because people want to take more control of their finances and more control of their retirement planning process, if you will.
And that's also another opportunity that we could begin some Roth conversions. So once you move over to your IRA, then start calculating those in. I mean, just again, more control, more opportunities to do better than where you are right now.
Yes.
Most people are still going to be working, right? So when they pull that over, they're not going to want to pull all of it out. They still want to take advantage of the employee match or the employer match. So you'll leave a little bit in there, pull most of it out, and put it into your own account.
Okay, all right. Rob, I'm going to ask you, what happens when you're in your 60s?
I'm retiring.
Well, there you go.
Well, you start when you get to 60. You've got to start just gearing up. I mean, 65 is going to be Medicare, but you've got to just start thinking about different options in retirement and what that means for your life. So Maybe you want to elaborate a little bit more on it, Kristina. But
So age 60, to me, that milestone is very important for those that are widowed.
Wow.
That is simply when you can begin that widow benefit with Social Security. Now remember, there are some excess earnings limit rules inside of that, so you want to be very careful that you don't get that wrong. And then 62 is early collection of Social Security. So that milestone, folks, early collection of your Social Security, is that the right time to file for your Social Security? You know, you're giving up a little bit of your benefit.
Sure.
Your FRA, your full retirement age, is going to be 66 to 67. If you're born after 1960, it'll be 67. So when is the best time to file for Social Security? If it's early, you're only getting about 75% of that benefit. But how long is it going to take to break even between the early collection and FRA? Then eventually from your FRA to 70. So again, Social Security timing, it's a very delicate balance.
And how do you help someone determine the right time to start taking Social Security? Rob, what does that process look like?
well, we do have a very comprehensive report that we will provide. We need either your birth date or your age as of today, and then what your FRA amount is, and we can run a very comprehensive report. So we want to take a look at pretty much everything. We want to see when the lines intersect, in which it means it's more feasible for you to start drawing Social Security. We also want to take a look at your spouse, right? The later that you file could be more needed for your spouse in retirement because one person may pass away. That way, the other one would draw the higher of the two. Now, Social Security is possibly looking at maybe eliminating one of those. We don't know yet. We're all waiting to see what some of the changes are going to be. But if that happens, what does that look like in your retirement?
Well, that's very normal. I know in our situation, you're 5 years older than me. And because of the mortality rates and the way they run, of course, I'm probably going to live longer.
Or she's going to kill me.
Not necessarily. But, ladies, there is an earnings gap, so you're going to see that in your Social Security. So perhaps it could be a good idea to be pulling from your retirement accounts and maybe accelerate that Social Security savings. That could be a really big deal, so that later on when you collect that benefit, if there is a spousal benefit or survivor benefit, that it would be a little bit higher. So it is a very delicate balance. What if it's better to collect early and not be taking out the money from your retirement accounts because you're paying those taxes if it's qualified money?
Yeah.
So again, having that full, comprehensive, holistic retirement plan, that's just one tiny piece of it. I mean, taxes, Social Security, and income all go hand in hand because Social Security is generally 36 to 40% of our average retiree's income. Folks, that's a really big chunk. We got to get this right.
Absolutely. And people always have the question, can I still work and have Social Security benefits coming in? Are they allowed to still have a part-time job?
Yes. So under your full retirement age, the excess earnings limit is $22,340. So you have to be very careful because they will remove one for every $2 from your benefit under that full retirement age. We have to be hyper vigilant to all of these rules because did you know as a couple that it could be up to a $500,000 mistake if you collect your Social Security at the wrong time?
Wow.
$500,000. I can show you this in the numbers. This is such a big deal.
That's huge. Well, Kristina, I know that you and Rob have a very special offer to present to our viewers at home. Let's talk about what that is before we take our very first commercial break.
Yes, folks, I know that you're concerned about Social Security, and I know that the timing can be very important for you. So if you do not have your Social Security filed yet, and you would like a copy of this comprehensive report that Rob mentioned, this is part of that complimentary consultation. If you just click the QR code on the screen, or you can call the number 877-893-5099, come in, get a complimentary consultation with us. You can also pick up a copy of the book, The Retirement Train. This is a great book. It talks about Social Security timing as well.
Yes.
So what can we do to give you that information? That's what we're really looking for. Invite you in, come see us, sit down, have a cup of coffee. Let's talk about your retirement.
And I love The Retirement Train. I get so excited when we have the opportunity to talk about it because it is such a fun read. It's an easy read, and the way that you write the book, I can hear you speaking. I can just hear your voice, and I love that.
Thank you.
Most
I do love it.
definitely.
I love giving that information.
It comes across so well. Kristina, thank you. Rob, thank you. To our viewers at home, there's a number to call on your screen, 877-893-5099. If you're in the viewing audience today and you're watching today's show, Milestones in Retirement, and you're wondering, am I about to hit one of those milestones? Will I be prepared? If the answer is no, this is the perfect opportunity for you to call in and claim one of those complimentary consultations. Claim that spot. That number is 877-893-5099. If you don't have a pen handy, that's okay. Grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. You can book your time accordingly. We're going to take our very short commercial break here, but don't go anywhere. We're talking about milestones in retirement. When we come back, we're going to jump into age 65. Stay tuned.
Well, before we even meet the client, we do set expectation of the information that we would need to make the most of our time together. When people come in, I never know how long an appointment's going to last. Sometimes it could be 20 or 30 minutes. Sometimes it could be a couple of hours. We're based in Kentucky, but we do service that Kentuckiana area, so our Lexington and Louisville firms. Well, Kentucky is home. Most of you that know me know that I was born in northern Utah, so I've been in Kentucky for almost 30 years. It's home and I absolutely love it. Lexington and Louisville are very different. The people are different. The demographic is very different. But there's one thing that is absolutely similar, which is people are just wonderful. We get to deal with so many amazing people, and I meet a lot of amazing people in this career, so I'm very grateful, very blessed. The big box firm just reminds me of that, a big cardboard box, just not really anything special, kind of like you must fit in that box for things to work. And one of the things that I really love about my own company is because it is woman-started, woman-owned. Women rule the world. Let's not ever make this mistake of thinking otherwise. Ladies, we got this. So knowing that women are making the primary financial decisions and that women live longer, I think that there's just more of a natural attraction to the fact that I can sit down, woman to woman, make sure that you're going to have an amazing, lasting rest of your life.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kristina Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services, and we're talking all about important milestones in retirement. We're going to jump into age 65. That's an important one. Age 65. Yes. Okay, Rob, what happens with age 65?
That's when you have to look at Medicare and make sure that you have filed on time. If you're still working, make sure that you kind of pull that back, but you still have to let them know on Part A and B. But there's some huge changes coming. And when people think about Medicare, they think about, hey, I'll just go in and click a couple buttons, it's mine, I'm just going to get it. They don't think about, how some of it's paid. They don't think about what changes are coming, how much your out-of-pocket expenses are, what products might be ready for you or right for you. And there's just a lot that you don't think about that goes into selecting the right coverages for yourself. We're here to help. We want to make sure that you have all the information for you to make the choice that you believe is right for you. Then we also have to look into jump a couple years to 67. That's when we talked about Social Security. 67 is your full retirement age. And is that time the right time for 100% of your Social Security to be drawn out? So those 2 years, there's a lot going on.
Absolutely. And so Medicare is not free? A lot of people think that it is.
What? Nothing is truly free that you're going to actually receive a benefit, if you will.
Okay.
Information should be free, yes, Medicare information, but the actual benefit itself it's not. It's not free at all. We're going to pay for it. One of the things that I think about with Medicare, at age 65, even though you either apply or decline, 66, 67, full retirement age, what if you retire at 65? What if age 66, you have a massive stroke and your health changes, your medication needs change? You can change your Medicare too. So think about that. You need to have that review every year. It doesn't matter what's going on. Make sure that you're having that review with your professional every single year.
Okay, that's very, very important to know.
Big changes come in 2025. So if you want to know about those changes, give us a call. I mean, we're happy to go over those changes with you. It's going to have to do with your Part D, your medications, and there's a lot of benefits coming up for people out there. I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised with.
And I think Medicare can be so confusing for so many people because once you even put information in that you would like to receive additional information about Medicare, your phone is blowing up, your mailbox is overflowing. There are so many choices, and so having the proper guidance really helps to make it crystal clear.
Yeah, a lot of these government programs are very confusing, I'll just say, and they don't normally give you a lot of information. With Social Security, I hear a lot of people that go to the Social Security office, they get no information or actually poor information. And I think that with Medicare, one of the things that people make a big mistake is that they think that it's just going to cost them absolutely nothing, and then when it comes out of their Social Security, they're surprised. Or wait, if you take Medicare and you have not yet taken Social Security, which is allowed, you have to pay for that out of your pocket. You have to set that up automatically. So a lot of people don't know that these things are coming, and it kind of feels a little blindsided sometimes.
Absolutely, it definitely would. Well, let's jump into the next one, 66 and 67. This is a big milestone as well. What happens with 66 and 67?
Again, that's your FRA. That's when you're getting 100% of your benefit. As I mentioned in the segment before, 62, you're only getting about 75% of your benefit at early collection. It does increase every single year. You get to your FRA 66 or 67. 67 for those born after 1960. Then you're getting 100%.
Amazing. So it really does make more sense to actually come in to have a consultation and talk about what the perfect age is for you to start turning on your benefits so that you truly understand you're making the right decision for not only yourself, but also your loved one.
Yes.
It's definitely going to depend on your circumstances.
Most definitely. So the milestones that we're covering today are so extraordinarily important because each one taps into something that's so important and so full of information that people need to have in front of them.
It does. I can't believe this. When we're having discussions about milestones in retirement, Cynthia, a lot of people think, oh, I just retire and I'm on cruise control. No, there are so many things to go and look after. Let's just say that you do file for early Social Security. Does that mean anything for you with any of these other milestones? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, if you do file early, you have to bridge that gap with your health care if you're not working. So that's one thing. What if you are still working and you're under age 66 or 67? That excess earnings limit can apply. So again, making sure you get that timing and you're watching every milestone. That's a big deal.
Absolutely. And Rob, what advice do you have for the folks at home that are getting advice at the water cooler whose friends say, grab Social Security now, turn it on as soon as you can because it's going away in the future?
Again, it depends on your circumstance. And we had somebody come in and to talk to us at one point in time, and they already had an advisor. They said, well, my advisor told me to go ahead and draw it at 62, like Cynthia had said, and it's not going to be around later on. And they just wanted information on their Social Security and different products that were available. And Kristina jumps in and starts talking about it a little bit more and finds out that this person made a considerable amount of money every year, which would have been taxed to the point where it would not have been worth taking. And by the time that conversation got over, there was a lot of question marks on where that person had previously been, and that person was with his friend. So that person is now a client of ours just because we gave them a holistic approach. We gave every end of this. We gave Social Security information that was accurate and complete and needed for that person. We gave information regarding their tax planning. We gave information regarding their savings. So we went across the gamut and made sure they were fully taken care of and they understand it. And it goes back to what we talk about all the time is it's a gut feeling. Did I get everything I was looking for and more?
Yeah.
And I think that person did.
I agree. Well, Kristina, you and Rob have a very special offer to present to our viewers at home. Let's talk about what that is before we reopen the phone lines.
Folks, we know that these milestones can feel a little bit overwhelming, and sometimes you just don't know what's coming next. That's okay. We'd love to sit down with you. Let's break down your milestones and how they apply to you, because sometimes a milestone could end up being a mistake. Let's watch this. Come in and see us. Click that QR code at the bottom of the screen, or you can call the number on the screen, 877-893-5099. You're going to get an appointment with us. The next business day after you set your appointment, our staff's going to contact you and let you know a confirmation of your appointment and then what documents to bring to make the most of our time together. That's important that you know what to expect. After that, we've got this. We can't wait to see you and give you all this valuable information. It is truly complimentary, a very holistic approach to make sure that you are on track for your retirement.
Kristina, thank you so much. And Rob, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is on your screen. That number is 877-893-5099. And again, if you're in the viewing audience and you're watching the show today and asking yourself, am I approaching one of these milestones? Am I ready for the milestone that's about to occur? If the answer is no or you're unsure, this is the perfect time for you to take advantage of this complimentary consultation, but you have to do one thing. Call in 877-893-5099 or grab your smartphone and click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. We're going to take a very short commercial break, but don't turn the channel. We're going to talk about ages 73 and 75 when we come back. Stay tuned.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter, the one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kristina Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. And we're talking all about milestones in retirement. We're going to jump into ages 73 and 75. Kristina, ages 73 and 75, why should people be tuning in and paying attention to those ages?
Because, folks, this is going to trigger your required minimum distributions. The Secure Act 2020 changed it from age 70 and a half to 72. Now 2.0 changed it to 73. By 2033, it'll be age 75. I do have an example of how this could really affect you. I have so many people out there who you're working longer, you're living a great, amazing, long life. And especially for those who it took a little bit longer to get your education. I have several physicians that they didn't begin their careers until their 30s, and so they want to work up into their 70s. Well, when it comes time for required minimum distributions, it can catapult them into another tax level because it becomes a tax problem to have to take those distributions from the qualified retirement plans. Now, as we're talking about taking these, I want you to get a snapshot. If you jump onto the website, yourpowerfullegacy.com, we have in the upper right-hand corner what's called the Retirement Tax Bill Calculator here. This is a tool that we would love to give you. You can also click on the little QR code that's going to pop up there. And listen, folks, I know you're worried about taxes. This is going to give you a little bit of a preview. What should your tax obligation be, and what can we do to fix it? One thing I really love about Retirement Tax Bill Calculator is it just really gives you that right up front insight to what the true taxation would be, because it could be a problem if you get the timing wrong, again, of distributions.
Right.
And for some people, it is best to go ahead and take Social Security at age 70. Well, what if you did and then you're still working and then you have required minimum distributions? That taxes your Social Security. Who knew that Social Security was taxable?
Wow.
So many people do not know that.
Yes, it's true.
So just for an example, just a quick number here, if you're married and you make more than $44,000 on your income tax, up to 85% of yours and your spouse's Social Security is taxable. If you're single, it's $34,000 and over. Folks, this is a really big deal. You've got to make sure that you get those taxes right, because they have no qualms at all for putting a penalty on there. Now, with those required minimum distributions, Cynthia, they did make another change. It used to be a 50% penalty that has come down to 25%. They call it an excise tax, 25%, but I call it a penalty. So forgive me if you work for the IRS and I'm saying that wrong, but it's a penalty. That's not fun, you know. You're having to pay. But if you do not take enough in your required minimum distribution. So for example, if your RMD was $1,000 for last year and you only took $900, that last $100 would be penalized by $25, 25%.
Wow.
We don't want to pay any penalties. That's not fun.
Just giving money away.
That's right.
It is giving money away. We don't like that. So, Rob, how do we pull this all together? What do we do? How do we pull it all together?
Pull it all together. Well, we talk about different things. We look at it, if we don't have an income plan, you don't have a plan. If you don't have a Medicare plan, you don't have a plan. If you don't have a Social Security plan, you don't have a plan. If you don't have a tax plan, you don't have a plan. If you don't take emergencies into consideration, you don't have a plan. We look from a holistic, everything approach, and we want to provide that for you. So if you're watching the show today, we want to provide you that information. We want to provide you with that roadmap for your future. And it'll be a complimentary review and roadmap that we'll provide you So give us a call at 877-893-5099 or click on that QR code at the bottom of your screen. We're here to help you. There's nothing sold, there's no pressure, there's no obligation. It's information, folks.
It's a roadmap for your retirement dreams. It definitely is. Kristina, you had a client come in recently. Actually, it was an attorney I believe you wanted to talk about a little bit. Just was collecting Social Security. Can we talk about that for just a bit?
Yeah, Rob actually gave that example. That's who he was talking about. A 62-year-old it was recommended that he collect right now. Well, he made over $200,000 a year. So that was really poor timing. I do have another example for a client. First of all, I know she's watching right now. A very dear friend of mine. We went to church for years together, and I had to retire her husband a little early. Let me do a little bit of math here. 18, 28, 38, 48, 58. He was only 58 years old, had worked in the same factory for 40 years.
Wow.
Having back problems, carpal tunnel issues, knee surgeries. I mean, this is a really big deal. Your body's not a machine, so we had to retire him early. Folks, we had to bridge the gap from 58 to 62, early collection of Social Security, because he's not disabled. He wasn't sick enough for that. We had to bridge that gap with part of his 401k. There are options out there to make it work. What if you have to retire early? Not that you get to, but you have to. That's a really big deal. I know that these things are very concerning. For some of you out there, you have no idea when you can retire, and that's okay too. That's why we have these shows week after week. It is our pleasure to give you that information. I know that I value when you come in and spend your time with us.
I know you do. You love meeting people, and people love meeting both of you. Rob, any final words of wisdom you want to give our viewers at home before we say goodbye?
We get this all of the time, and we say people tell us we've been watching your show for 6, 8 months, a year, and we just now decided to call in because you touched on a subject that we have been thinking about over the last few weeks, and there's no hesitation to this, folks. Give us a call. If you've been watching the show, you're interested in finding out more information, no pressure, give us a call, 877-893-5099. We are happy to help.
Kristina, thank you so much for another amazing episode. And Rob, thank you as well. To our viewers at home, most specifically, thank you for spending time with us today on Your Powerful Legacy TV. We talked all about milestones in retirement. And again, if you're facing any of those or they're getting closer, this is the perfect time to make sure that you're on the right path for your retirement dreams. Again, 877-893-5099 or click the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you back 1 week from today on Your Powerful Legacy TV. Take care now.